You know, put it in the comments if you're still here. I know a lot of people don't really watch the full video. Really cold. They barely dressed. Oh man, somebody lost their buggy tire or scooter. It looks like a scooter rim. All right, so that was pretty cool. The bike really doesn't make a Y, but that's the point of the middle. You do the Y. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode. Today we're actually going to go on a ride. It's going to be a little different. Today is like the aftermath of the snow. Starting out here at the Light Center, L-I-T-E. While I'm not 100% sure what they exactly do in this building, it has a huge amphitheater. I've been to different conferences and meetings and stuff in this building. It's really cool. And at night, if you've seen on my night rides, they light up this big like egg thing right here. But really cool spot. They have a few hills and stuff, which if I wasn't afraid to really jump this bike, I could get some good air right here. But yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit, talk about the frame and stuff, some things that we've been commenting about. But let's go ahead and start on our ride. And so this is a couple days after the freeze, and which a lot of people are calling like the Snowmageddon. I'll put it in sport here. So a lot of people are calling it Snowmageddon. It was like a 100-year storm here in Louisiana, especially for Lafayette. A lot of folks got snowed in, couldn't be on the roads. It's mainly because of our infrastructure. I know a lot of places people are commenting that they get way more snow and they still have to go to school, but we just don't have the infrastructure. The city doesn't have like big snow plows like other big cities. It's not, you know, built. The building codes are a little different here, so pipes and stuff are put in a little different, and so they're not made to withstand certain temperatures for long periods of time and all that. I'm not gonna get into the specs of that, but it was definitely fun. It was a cool day to sit back and relax and have fun with the family. It was almost like a forced vacation. So oh man, somebody lost their buggy tire or scooter. It looks like a scooter rim. So there's a lot of snow and ice like this piled up from the street sweepers, which is what I'm assuming they use. I mean, I didn't see it, but they have a lot of snow that's pushed up off the road in a lot of spots. I wanted to go back and check on Cajun Field. If you saw in my last video, I got in there and got a good shot of Cajun Field. And that was actually around 8 in the morning. So, and here's my side of my second crash. I mean, of course. But yeah, that video was around 8 in the morning, and that wasn't even the heaviest snowfall. So we recorded, at least in my yard, that we got 9 inches of snow. So that's a lot. It felt like I was up in Colorado. Oh, maybe they watched my last video. Yeah, they locked it. This gate has not been, I don't know what that noise is, if you can hear it. But this gate has not been locked since, I don't know, like probably the past year or so. This gate has been open, and so they padlocked it. Maybe the city saw my video. Can't really see much in there, but there's definitely still snow on the new construction side. A lot of snow out, just kind of hanging out in a few areas that's shaded by some trees or houses. The roads are pretty clear now. Bridges are open. We had a lot of bridges that were closed. I was trying to drive to check on my mom, and I couldn't get there a couple ways. I had to be real strategic about how I made it to her house. But we got there, checked on everything is good. Let's go ahead and go on a ride to downtown area. I'm going to check out Moncus Park. Parking is now open over there. They had on the news after the snow fell a lot, they had a lot of people actually snowboarding, riding different sleds and makeshift things out there. So we're gonna go see what snow is left and check out downtown and kind of see what's going on. But again, I gotta be real careful with stuff like that. It just kind of pops up everywhere. Not a lot, but there's definitely still some snow in places. Wanna race? Oh, he's beating me. Gotta slow down right here. It's definitely a spot you can get taken out. Ooh, and I said we were going to Moncus, so we kind of do need to cut through right here. I use this cut through a lot. I know it's probably more for pedestrians and college students, but I do go slow right here. I take my time and make sure I'm not causing a scene. I don't like to break the rules as much as, you know, bend a few of them. And let's see, I never saw this sign. Let's see what it says. Nope, it doesn't say that you can't go here, so. Now, this is a major cut across, especially for bikes. It's just one corner, you gotta be careful right here. There we go. There's some ice. Now I have the helmet mount on. I have my camera on the helmet mount. So it's just been one that's easier to show whenever I'm trying to look at things. But I didn't bring the neck mount. That's mainly because it's been really hard to get the mic to sound right, because there's nowhere to really put it without making a lot of noise. So I got to figure out how to keep that mount on my chest really heavy, and make sure I have my mic in a good spot. Right now it's inside my helmet on the helmet straps, since it's not a what you call it, a sticker mount. I want to ask for some help on music. I'd like to put some music so it's not just like quiet on a lot of my rides, because I am quiet on a lot of them. And I wanted to see if anybody knew a good way to do copyright-free music. I've tried a couple things and I've gotten in trouble, and with my Christmas one I had to delete a bunch of music. Oh, there's some ice there. And so I'd like to be able to keep most of my music. So if anybody kind of knows a good alternative, like or a good way to get copyright-free music besides the YouTube Creator Hub, you know, please let me know. Or what's a good inexpensive program that I could purchase a subscription to. And I was talking about mounts a little earlier. So this is the handlebar mount. So we're gonna try that and see if that view. I want to get a view other than my helmet or the neck. Oh, I can't go right, that's full of mud. So if I could get a different view that wouldn't be like this big pole or something extra I gotta carry, I wanted to be able to do that. Oh, seeing this building reminds me that Mardi Gras is coming up. So I'm going to probably do a ride and, you know, took my kids along, and we'll go do a ride to a Mardi Gras parade to show a little bit of that. I do want to say I also plan on going to a couple rides. There's a Houston ride out that I'm trying to make. They're doing, I think I'm going to go to the March one. And then February, sometime in February, beginning of February, the New Orleans group, the Surin group, is doing a ride. So I'm going to try to meet up with those guys and have fun and do like my first group ride. So we're finally at Moncus Park, and today is Saturday, so they do the farmers market, which is really cool. They got a lot of local vendors of food and different things that come out. You can see there's still a lot of snow right here. It's still trying to melt. I mean, the temperature I think was 44. I saw on my truck, on my dash. So it's cold enough to kind of keep a little bit of snow and not melt it all, but the sun is beating down. It's kind of finishing it up. Park on Saturday is usually pretty lively, so there's probably be a good group of people in here. We're gonna just kind of roam around. I do want to go under this bridge. There's a lot of people here. There's a big gap under there, and I've seen it when I pass, but I haven't tried to go on it, so I want to kind of do that. It's the play area in the bathrooms, parking. Maybe y'all have seen all this in my previous videos, but I've never really pointed out everything. Parking on a lot of these is free, especially when you see these guys out here, which is really cool. They're just scanning a little thing. That's the workers letting everybody in. I've seen security like a couple times, but they've never really gave me a hard time, and you know, I can always pedal. So here's the hill that everybody was snowboarding and sledding down, either that side or on the other side. But there's two big hills. I forgot the name of this. I think they called it like Orlando Hill or something like that. But it is the highest point in the parish as far as like elevation goes. It's pretty cool. But you have this hill here, this little small one here. I think a lot of people were snowboarding down that side into over there. When I was actually in the park when it was snowing, I kind of went through there, and I cut that out because I was doing a live video, which was a mistake. It ruined almost all my shots, so I didn't get to get the ride footage that I really wanted. But it must have been really cool once the snow finished. I should have kind of saved my ride for that moment, but there was a lot of ice on my bike and snow, and I did want to speak to what we're talking about, freezing and water getting in there. I've had a couple comments of both, right? I've had comments that water's gotten in there and messed up the battery. I've gotten comments of people riding in the water, riding in the rain, or having a heavy downpour on it and being okay. So I feel like it's just a risk that you have to take on your own, whether you want to risk it or not. But I really think that a solution, if I ever do get a taller battery pack, if I get a bigger one, which I've been kind of looking around to maybe get one that has 10 more amp hours, I think I'm going to get them to take the discharge ports off the bottom, put some kind of connectors to the top, and figure out a different way to mount it in there, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it performed in the snow. The only real issue I had was that one crash where I lost my side mirror, and park. Getting out of park for some reason when it's cold, it just didn't want to send the signal. So that was like a slight issue. So this is that handlebar view where I have it on that little mount. I really like this view to kind of do a little extra and kind of have a different view. But again, like I said, being on the handlebars makes it to where it's out of the way and it doesn't take a lot of room like that big stick. Whereas I feel is a really cool shot with that big stick in the back and having that third person view, but it's just not something I can ride with for a long period of time. And I mean, I don't know how this video is gonna look. It's more like motorcycle style. So I think that's a fun view, but we'll see. We'll see how it comes out, and whenever I'm editing it, how the sound comes out. And I'm layered up. I'm wearing like a windbreaker on top, but I have like my hoodie and a couple other shirts. And oh, this is a trail that I want to go down, but it is way too wet. You can see it down there. So I see bikes passed over here, but there's a walking trail through there that kind of goes around, and there's a big drainage. So it's something I want to check out one time. Somebody commented in one of my earlier videos, like, man, you got to go down that trail. So I'm going to have to check it out. But I just want to kind of see all the ice and kind of what's left of all the snow. Look at that. There's a big nutria rat crossing the lake right there. Man, so those are a big deal in South Louisiana. They eat a lot of the vegetation and roots, and it causes a lot of erosion on the coast. There even was a show, I think, on Discovery for a while about guys that's what they do. They exterminate nutria rats in the marsh and get paid a pretty good amount per tail, or I'm not sure what it is. It used to be for the tail, it used to be for the whole hide, but it was like, there's a big deal, and it's an ongoing issue in Louisiana. Is we're losing land at a crazy amount per day, and you know, they're trying to do everything they can to save the coastline. It's something people don't think about unless you've seen it, or if you've been out in the marsh or the Gulf of Mexico, or can't say that anymore, the Gulf of America now. I know talking about e-bike laws is a a big deal right now. It's a big topic. Everybody's talking about it because of the Cali 2025 deal. And I'm not going to speak to that because, again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to pretend to interpret it. I haven't actually read their law, but Louisiana is a little bit behind. And so while we still have the very generic definitions of what an e-bike is and stuff, I do think it's something that's going to come up in the future. And so I'm going to be on the lookout for city council meetings and all that stuff, because I think the only way to really combat that of like, you know, we can either sit down and do nothing, not talk about it, or you can show up and help make the proper laws be put in place. So I'm going to think about writing a letter. Maybe this is just the dad in me, but I think I'm going to write a letter to the mayor or a council member and probably get a meeting to talk about e-bike laws, try to get Louisiana to do something a little different. Man, there's a lot of people out on Saturday. I think it's a big deal of the cabin fever everybody's feeling from just being inside. So even though it's like really cold, they barely dressed. Even though it's really cold, people still want to get out and you know, see the city and just get out of their house. Oh, police have to direct traffic now. I guess it's because of the market. All right, so we're gonna head downtown, and from here, the best way is to get back on some back roads or take Johnson Street. There's no real cut across on the east side of Johnson, or well, the south side of Johnson. So got to figure that out. So I did want to say, if you come to Moncus Park, be careful where you park at, because if you look, there's signs on all these things that say do not park here. It says South College Center parking only, which is a shame. The city, like, I feel like tow companies are just trying to make a buck, but also the city is so worried about somebody getting hurt on their property or these businesses' property that you know, insurance won't cover them. It'll be a big insurance deal. So don't park here, because you will end up getting towed. I think they should make an exception for this, you know, for Saturday during the day, because to promote the farmers market. But see, these people are going to a business, so you can park here, but everybody else can't. All right, I had a crazy time in there, so I kind of cut that out. But I was talking about insurance, and I kept getting, cars kept getting too close to me. But talking about insurance with parking and parking lots, I did mention in my other video about insurance. So this bike is fully insured. So if it were to get stolen or I get in an accident, I have all this coverage. Now I got extra because I also got this health. So if I end up getting hit and there's some medical bills and stuff, I tacked that on. It was just a little extra. So I paid like, I think $230 something for the coverage. And if it gets stolen, it's covered. If I get in an accident, or like if I hit somebody else, I have a deductible. And so for those of you who don't have car insurance and stuff, the way that works is, let's say if somebody steals my bike, okay? If somebody steals the bike, I'll put a claim and say, hey, the bike was stolen. You know, let's do the paperwork. I have to pay a deductible, so that's $500. So for a $500 deductible, the bike, you know, they'll pay market value to buy me a new one. So I just do the $500, the insurance pays the rest. That's how it works with cars and stuff for the most part. Just very simplified version of insurance. I went with my car company, so just if you want to get that, just contact your car company and you can get it. Now, I think that's going to be a growing trend with bikes that have a throttle. Is I think eventually the U.S. is going to have to say, hey, you have to have insurance for the different things that, you know, are happening with e-bikes all over the place. So I don't think that's a big ask to have insurance, especially with a lot of people riding have no idea about the rules of the road or any of that. And I just want to touch on that. I really don't want to speak too much on why we should or shouldn't get it, but I got it because I like that peace of mind that if something happens to my bike, I'll have at least some coverage and not be out of pocket the $2,600 that it costs. Oop, excuse me, sorry. So that guy wasn't paying attention, walking his dog and texting. But I like to be very nice to pedestrians. I had some people comment on my other video how I didn't fly by them. I kind of went slow and just was real nice about it. And even if I do see pedestrians on the sidewalk, which I've, ride on the sidewalks like a bike, I do go farther around them, or in the case that I can go in the grass, I will take the grass, see if I'm going, if I have a little bit of speed behind me. And I wanted to make this a separate video talking about insurance and issues, but since I just talked about it, I did want to say that with this aluminum frame, there are going to be some downfalls, and there are some strength elements about aluminum that I think is a big deal with this bike. Now, if you're going to ride it and just cut up a little bit, I think it's not a big deal. I did some trail riding, but I did come across somebody, or they reached out to me, and their bike got totally dismantled from a crack in the weld. And so, of course, I'm going to say this because the company kind of writes it in small but doesn't say anything, is that this bike is not a stunt bike. And so if you start doing stunts, just like anything, it voids the warranty. So if you're using this as a stunt bike, I want to let you know, if you haven't come across this yet, voids the warranty. You tamper with the battery and there's an issue, voids the warranty. Open the motor, all those things. It's all listed in a fine print places. And if it's not, I saw emails back and forth with the company and this individual, which I don't think he cares if I say his name, but I'm not going to say it. But they mentioned some warranty stuff, and so they didn't warranty his bike, and I'll show some pictures of that bike. He took all the components off of it, and basically they were like, nah, you've voided the warranty doing stunts, which is a shame because he was one of the first guys really doing wheelies on this, like long wheelies on this bike. And I know I'm talking loud now. I'm trying to keep my volume down since I do have my mic and it's right by my face. Continue on that story. The guy that happened to is actually a 15-year-old kid, which just kind of broke my heart to hear. And so now he has no way to kind of meet up with his friends because he lived a little far from town, and he has to resort now back to a pedal bike. So he's okay. Nothing happened to him, but he saw the minor cracks and still rode it. But the company said, you use this as a stunt bike, and I'm sorry, we can't do the warranty. If you want to get a new frame, we can sell you a new frame. So it's kind of a sad story, but it happened. And along with that, other people reached out to him and was saying they had some cracking and some issues. So that long rant and story, which I'm pretty sure I lost a lot of viewers. If I have, I'm sorry. But we're still going on a ride. We're still checking out the town, but I feel like I just needed to tell that story. And I've never been like a flashy kind of YouTube editor. It's more about realistic, me talking, exploring my city, and so just be careful and watch. The area is right here. So look right here. Every now and then check that weld on your bike and make sure that there's no cracks going on so everything's still solid. I tell you what, losing that side mirror is more of like a handicap than I thought, because especially with filming, looking back is such a burden with a helmet, and editing the video, like I'm just looking all over. So I hate looking down a lot, but I can't see behind me. And whenever I'm cruising, like I need to know when I'm switching lanes if something's behind me. I mean, I could just fly by and keep going, but I do not want to get hit from behind. So I'm getting into the downtown area, and I didn't see too many videos or pictures of downtown unless people lived real close, but there's nothing really down here. Like on the edges there's houses, but I didn't see anybody like roaming around and stuff. Again, that's my loss. I should have did a little bit more exploring while I could. That's probably like a once in a lifetime storm to see everything, and I should have kind of capitalized on it a little bit more. Now, Again, I'm new to the YouTube thing and like really getting stuff out there. I don't know what everybody wants to see. I know a lot of my followers like the X2 videos, you know, all the stuff I do with the X2. That's how I've built most of my following. But I really just started this channel because I'm always riding alone. And I said this before. And I just feel like y'all are with me whenever I take y'all out on a ride. And I don't do a lot of flashy things, and you know, I just explained about the insurance and the cracked frame thing. That's one of the reasons I kind of stopped doing wheelies for a little bit, because I really don't want to destroy this bike. And when I get my next one, which most likely would be a steel frame, then we can kind of go back to working on that and messing around with wheelies. I did want to ask everybody to comment whether you like the lunch videos, the e-bike lunch, which I do think I'm going to call it e-bike bites, is going to be the name of the series. I'm not picking any restaurant in particular. It's just like what's happening on that side of town or what I feel like that day. Just drop a comment and let me know, like, if that's something that you've enjoyed, or something that maybe it's something that you don't want to see, or is there a specific place that you want to check out, like a specific like a Cajun food? Is that something you want to see? Which I've never, you know, gone to like a fancy restaurant, I want to say, but like a more of a least casual dining where I've videoed. And I know people do it, it's not a big deal, but I haven't done that. And if that's something you want to see, or see some more Cajun food, then we can. But I do want to say, in Louisiana, there's a lot of good restaurants, but the best places to really eat are going to be the gas stations, which I know is crazy, but a lot of people have reported on that. The bike really doesn't make a Y, but that's the point of the middle. You do the Y, and I bring my stand to get in the background, but I want to do just a quick shot of it. But yeah, that might be one that we do, is go to a gas station and check out some of the, you know, get a plate lunch or something. But they have really good food at a lot of gas stations in Lafayette. So around Lafayette, there's a lot of nice murals, different buildings, businesses are kind of paying for that artwork. And I think that might be another thing I might try out, is to go and get some of these murals on camera and check them out. Maybe do like a little tour of them, where they are, and the different ones that are in town. I hope my audio is coming out pretty good. I have messed with my mic in the past, but the best place is actually inside the helmet. And the only bad part, oh, that mail truck came close to me. The bad part about that is that you sometimes hear some breathing, or, you know, coughing and stuff. I don't know how some of the big YouTubers do it. I don't know if they cut it out, but it's something that I've been trying to work on better. This spot, so I just heard about this. This is called Uncle Bob's Roundup, and it's supposed to be a like food truck spot. So I wanted to come check it out because I passed by before and I saw it. But it's really, there's 4 hookups, so I'm guessing you just fit 4 food trucks, and they feature different ones at different times. You know, I don't know how this is going to turn out. It's really close to the bus stop, and I've seen a lot of, you know, there's a lot of homeless people downtown. So I don't know how they, let's see right here. I guess it locks and stuff. Because I would assume they'd have a deal with, like, you know, something with homeless people right here. The benches, so it looks like they fold up and maybe lock that way. They do. Oh, so that's a pretty cool solution, to not have tables where people are sleeping on them. They put a lock for a truck hitch into the design of it, and so you unlock the truck hitches and the table folds down, and it looks like the same thing for the bench. That's a really cool design to eliminate, you know, people sleeping on it and stuff. But this is a pretty big undertaking. I wonder how this is going to turn out. I'm going to have to check out when's the next Uncle Bob's food truck roundup, and maybe do this on E-Bike Eats. So I've never been in town or downtown when the train is passing, but it is super loud. Let's go check it out. This is the closest I've been to a train on this bike. Let's go all the way up to the rail. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear me, but man, it is pretty loud. That train is moving. Probably gonna hear this dinging, but the train is pretty loud. I've never came check this out, but the head car is way over there, so the horn has stopped blowing, but it was so loud when it was passing through. I just wanted to check it out. I don't see the end. Oh, there's the end right there. Alright, so that was pretty cool. Never been to a railroad crossing on my bike, kind of watched the train pass. Alright, it's going. There we go. Bars are up. Now we can pass. Pretty cool. I'm pretty much at my limit right here. I can't go any further because the Evangeline Three-Way's right there. Major road on this side. It's not a spot I really want to ride through. So we're gonna go back downtown through the Lafayette sign and see what's going on. So go ahead. So here's a little dip under the train tracks that goes to downtown from the Three-Way. I like to really haul under here because it's fun. We gotta be, ice or, it's just water, okay. So be careful for that. I did want to ask everybody how they enjoy my filming style, where it's kind of, most of my rides are unscripted unless I'm doing something with comments. But I like to just kind of go with the flow, talk about what I see and topics that come to mind. And I just wondering if kind of everybody likes that or if they'd like me to polish it up some more. It's something I've been looking into, but haven't really implemented, like a lot of flashy things, Saranster style videos. Put it in the comments if you're still here. I know a lot of people don't really watch the full video, so I'm probably talking to a group of like 10 people or less, but again, I enjoy sharing my ride with everybody and just bringing y'all along and pretending that y'all are here with me, since I don't do any big rides or don't have any friends that have bikes. I do want to put in a video with side-by-side against a Suron. I know somebody that has one. I'd like to do a couple side-by-side races, what it looks like next to it, do some top-end stuff on a stock one, and just kind of see how it compares. I think that'd be a great one. What's up, brother? I don't know if that's okay to say or not, but I have a lot of friends that have like Harleys and ride motorcycles, and they don't seem to mind. We're gonna make our way back towards the Cajun Dome. Ice everywhere. Lafayette Parish Sheriff's Office. There's a big church. I saw that in my Christmas light ride. It's really cool. In my last video, I did block out a few people. Sometimes I don't have permission, so I don't know if they want their face shown or not, so I cut them out. But I did misspeak about driving on the road. So there was a curfew technically in place at night, but during the day there wasn't. Now, the people that were out riding during the snow, it was more of a, hey, don't get on the road, try to avoid at all cost being on the road, but it was like a stern kind of warning, but I didn't see anything that said do not be on the road or we're going to ticket you and all this. But I do think it's a little crazy if you are, you know, getting out in conditions like that, because in a car, like if something goes wrong, now the city has to use their resources to go and help you when they could be helping somebody else that really needs it. All right, so I'm ending it here at the Mickey Shunick Memorial, Cajun Dome in the background, real cool setting. Now, I talked about a lot in this video, a lot more than I planned on talking about, but, you know, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to develop my style in this video. Again, comment if you enjoy my videos, and if you're here, whether it's for the tech stuff or just to go on a ride with me. I appreciate everyone that watches, and until next time, turn off your device and head out for a ride.